to Upstage Downstage with him, Richard Platt, seated in the upper circle.
And him, Stephen Rees, typically seated in the cheap seat.
This is the Theatre Podcast, where we discuss productions we've seen,
Things we've liked,
and may not have liked,
giving our complete unprofessional
and non-biased opinions.
So grab a brew,
Take a seat,
and let's raise that curtain. On today's episode, we'll be discussing Top Hat, the musical. We saw this production at the Lyceum Sheffield on the 24th of January 2026. Directed and choreographed by Kathleen Marshall, based on the classic 1935 film starring Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, Top Hat features some of Irving Berlin's greatest songs, including Cheek to Cheek, Let's Face the Music and Dance, Top Hat, White Tie and Tails, and Putting on the Ritz. So Stephen, what's it all about?
Step into a world of elegance, romance and dazzling dance as the golden age of Hollywood is brought to life on stage. The story follows Broadway star Jerry Travers as he arrives in London and falls head over heels for model Dale Tremont. But a case of mistaken identity, a fiery Italian admirer, and an unexpected trip to Venice make the path to true love anything but smooth.
But first, our post-show opinion!
It was an itsy bitsy glitzy and ritzy all out hitsy.
Outstanding. I tip my hat at Top Hat.
So with all that said, let's
Set the scene!
So here we are, fresh in the recording booth for 2026 on our new era, our new season of
New ears.
plays. Yeah, we're not Taylor Swift, are we? We're not both of us anyway.
I've not had any plastic surgery either, I've had new ears.
Allegedly.
I
Okay. So
want 'em pinned back.
Yeah. So let's set the scene for Top Hat. Richard, would you like to describe what we saw? Because you'd know better, wouldn't you?
Well, not necessarily, but
Yeah.
today,
you would.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the main scene, the set, was very much a...
I mean, we've started off really well here.
We've
haven't
really
we?
started off, yeah, we have.
And then there's nothing.
And then there's blank space.
Didn't Taylor Swift write a song about that?
Yeah, she did.
Blank Page, was it?
Yeah, so the actual staging and the set of the production was a half clock face, could you say, and a
semicircle of a clock face.
yeah, and a raised level seat staging that almost looked like it might have had a revolve when it was in the West End, but not
Yeah.
in the tour, as in the circular part of the stage. So it was almost like a it felt like a cabaret stage or a theatre stage in a speakeasy or something, where it's like you're in that 30s era Art Deco style production. But the actual the reason I said half clock face is because it's actually done to depict Westminster's as in Big Ben. So when you look at it, you've got half a clock face across the top, the back of the stage. Just to draw your eye to the centre of the stage, and it actually, the centre point of that clock face actually revolves to do a lot of the set changes and a lot of the scenery and a lot of the different spaces that the production goes in.
Yeah, just to note that the clock face didn't spin around. That stayed there. It was just the semicircle underneath that did twist around for the different sets and the different time periods.
Yeah, and also in the second
Placing
half, the actual clock face became railings for depicting Venice, so it sort of showed different places, but in a stylised way, very, very in keeping with the 30s aesthetic, really.
Yeah. Is it just a black floor, wasn't it, with a gold trim, or it might have been silver trim?
I think it was,
lines,
there was golds and silvers
to
to just accent it, just to give you a bit of difference, almost like a proper posh wooden black floor that would have been around in those days in your high-end hotels and things like that. So
yeah, and along with the set pattern on the floor, even the furniture that was part of it had all the lovely Art Deco appearance. They had all that spot on. Really, it was all very much in keeping of that time, and I loved in one of the particular scenes, and I'm sort of like jumping ahead, but there was like a unit, and I was looking at the wood, and it was very much a walnut wood panel that they put on there, which was very in keeping of that period of the time.
Yeah,
as well,
they were, you know, even though it was quite a modern set in construction, it was actually felt very in keeping with the period and the time. And
all the telephones, the lamps, the lampshades, the chairs, the tables, everything was just as it should be.
I think it also added really well to the actual production itself, because it made the cast stand out, because it was very rooted in the style, so you felt like they were actually in those scenes and settings and things like that, and things like the scenery changes. Some of the semicircles were semicircles of different wallpapers or different this, just to show you different backdrops, but not actually have to project them or put them on a full drop of setting and things like that, which helped really well.
Because early on there was one wood panelled setting where it was like a library, wasn't it? Where it was all silence and stuff, which was quite nice. But then later on it turned into the hotel. Yeah. And because that was all done with Art Deco, with the keys at the back and stuff, and the desk just a little bit in front of that, that was probably that alongside the bedroom suites was one of the main stays of the sets that spun round. But that was just wonderful how they decorated that and designed that for it to have presence on the stage.
Yeah, and I also think it was good that bar actually changed into the reception desk. Sorry, no, the other way around. The reception desk changed into the bar by removing panels of the keys and the front veneer, and actually there was drinks and bottles and everything was already set up in an illuminated sort of bar area that gave you the same aesthetic as a you know, a proper 30s bar. So it worked really well, I think.
I mean, if only interior design and decoration could be done like that.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, my house will be done already.
Exactly. Bar by night and.
Exactly. Just on the topic of that, I was curious to know when they did the changeovers, because they would have done it at the back, obviously, for obvious reasons. They were very, very silent.
Yes.
Obviously, there was some music cues for the transitions, but that quickly died down. And when it was silent and you had the talking, for them to have removed the back panels and the flooring and changed it and put what then came for the next scene, they must have done that really, well, obviously quietly. But how do you think they attached those back panels on? Would it have been done by magnets, or because there's?
I think there was a combination of things from what it looked like, because
you'd have been able to hear like screwing in.
I remember there
was no like latches I could see.
No, but the bar, I'd noticed that the other side of the revolve, there was a little part that came out of the revolve, and I think it all locked in over that. Yeah. So they locked in and dropped over the top. So it actually, and then there'd have been more wheels on the actual bar. Yeah. Silent wheels. So when you actually spun it round, it would move with it, and there was a lot more. I think there was more to it, you know, because if things are balanced right and they're weighted right when it comes to wheels, you can actually get some quite good silent wheels, but that's only if things are properly designed, so the dollies actually stop and start as they should and don't make a lot of racket, because and I think from what I could gather, the actual turning mechanism was under the raised bit of the stage. So yes, you got the raised bit of the actual revolve, but I think the reason that the stage was raised is because the actual mechanism was underneath. So it probably dampened some of the sound down because it wasn't actually, you know. So that helped quite a lot. Yeah. Because I think I noticed that in the first half, before the production started, I noticed they brought the safety curtain down, and sometimes if they bring the safety curtain down just before it's meant to start, it's either they've got to reset something or they've got to just do something quick.
Yeah.
And it could have been that because it all relies on the revolve. These productions all rely.
Yeah.
The audience wouldn't notice, but I was thinking they must be resetting something or doing something to make sure that they're fully ready, because you can't start a production like this that relies on that without it working. So, and they didn't really fly anything in. There was not really a lot. The only thing I remember flying in was the station.
The seats, the station seat.
Station roof that flew in from above. They didn't really. Everything was off that revolve, really. I think.
Yeah, pretty really much. Yeah. Was it a station or was it like a pavilion?
It was something like that. I think it was a bit nondescript, but it was a bit,
because they were like dancing and singing in the rain, a bit like in Sound of Music when they're doing I'm 16 going on 17. That's in like a pavilion outside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're in a conservative pavilion or orange.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it was. They brought down these wooden pieces from the top. Other than that, they didn't bring anything
everything
else
was brought
down.
on and dropped and brought in.
Yeah, even the seating, there were like 2 half cuts of semicircle seating that came in from either side to meet up in the middle. You had a cushioned effect for the hotel lobby, and then you had another
outdoor bench style.
Outdoor bench, for in that particular scene that we just previously talked about. And then, other than that, there was just a lot of tables and chairs, wasn't there? Period tables and chairs like that. So
definitely, and I think there was enough level of scenery and setting that it didn't need any more than it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, even because one of the turnaround pieces in the main set was him travelling to, I think it was. Was it Italy?
It was travelling to Venice,
to Venice. So it was just 2 seats of an aeroplane.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was it.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
But that was enough.
Yeah, and I think it was good that those seats were also set on galvanised corrugated metal, which would have been on the planes of that era.
Yeah,
it was very, very like it gave you the link directly to it, so that was good.
And also, just to note that every time the set revolved, and you knew there was going to be a changeover at the very back of the stage, you also had every now and again musical numbers where the chorus came in and they brought tables and chairs and they just moved things and planted them. And even during a scene when they were taking things away, they just dump it on this half semicircle for it to be taken around the back and be sorted out later.
Yeah.
And I thought those kind of transitions and stuff was sort of like, it was clever, it was well done, but they wasn't trying to hide the fact they were doing that. It was obvious they were doing that, but you knew why
exactly.
as well.
Yeah.
And there was something quite fun about seeing that.
And I also like for me, scene changes, set changes. I liked the bit where the sort of ensemble cast sat there and waited, like they were having a drink or they were sat by the bar. And as they walked off with a piece of scenery. Yeah, they knew exactly that their intention was they're actually sitting there to create a tableau of people, but actually they're also clearing the set as they walk off. So it felt smooth, and there was a few times where even when the porters came into the bedrooms, they lifted the scenery off the revolve and then walked off altogether. There was a lot of choreography of the movement of them, so it was very slick.
And because they included sort of bringing on the set in character as well. So when they were in Italy and say like they were just having a few drinks on the veranda or whatever at this place, one waiter would bring a chair and just wait for the other waiter to bring the other chair, and then the other waiter to bring a table, as if they've decided, oh, do you mind if we just have our drinks outside? Oh yeah, sure, we'll just go and bring it out for you. So they all did it in character, but they just obviously brought it on stage as it should be.
There was like little subplots to get the scenery off almost, and it worked really well.
But it was never done like, oh, we're going to dress a set before you do the scene.
No,
it was very much
exactly.
within the scene, we'll bring it out to you. And those waiters and other people were just like walking backwards and forth doing stuff. So it was very lively, but without taking focus from the main actors as well. So so really the whole set and the set pieces and all the props work perfectly together. This was well resourced as well. And what about the costumes?
I mean, you couldn't get any better than what they produced costume wise, and I think they were very keen. You could tell the intention was there to actually match and be very faithful to the era and to the the original film, and it had that level of almost. It felt rich in costume, really. I think that's the thing of the era. Anyway, it didn't feel out of place.
The thing is, sometimes you can see shows, and when they do period costumes, the women get the period dresses.
Yes.
But often than not, the men are in normal casual trousers. But it's always nice when you see like a 1920s or a 30s production to see men with the high-waisted trousers, which actually, as a matter of fact, have come into fashion now.
Yeah, exactly.
As well, so it's always nice to see all those little details, as well as like the suspenders for the socks on the men's calves.
And I think,
I don't know why I went there.
No, I don't. No, I think though for me it's like
those little details, isn't it?
I think for me it's like the bellboys in yellow and black, and I think it wasn't necessarily just the colour choice. It was more the accents matched their tops, and the accents on the trousers matched, and on the hats, and then also the lapels all had edged in black, so everything matched. Everything became the next thing. But then also you've got the hotel robe felt very Art Deco, and it had little you got moments where you felt like that came from a hotel, but it read well right to the back of the audience. It wouldn't. Everything they were wearing felt very specific, and I think that was important. Even to the, I think all those choices and mattered, like having the very different in colours. You've almost got a production that was set in the 1930s brought to life with more vibrancy, but actually it still felt of the era.
Yeah.
It was all colours that were still available in that era, and I think that's just as important as well, because it's not. It should matter in the sense of it feeling right if you were in that,
Yeah, definitely. Moving on to our next segment, as we say, we're here for the drama. So this story for me is quite a very simple linear comedy farce storyline, where a couple meet up. They don't necessarily give names, but then they are under the misassumption of what their identities
a false identity
are. Yeah,
sort of.
So that's where the comedy comes into play, and the confusion later on, and it sort of draws up into a chaotic moment in the second act.
Definitely.
So it was. You didn't struggle to keep up with the plot and the twists and stuff. It was very easy going, even with the musical numbers interwoven within that. You knew who these people were, and saying that, the jokes were extremely funny, very witty and strong, and also, I'll say mostly from the other actors that weren't the main leads, because obviously it's two characters, Jerry and Dale, that are pushing through this romantic storyline, but it's the characters like Horace and Madge and Alberto and Bates. They're the ones that are bringing in the comedy from all different angles, which makes it for a really good, enjoyable watch.
I think as well, another key thing is it's not just the jokes are funny, the timing of them was funny, the way they pulled them off. They lingered on certain lines and made punchlines of things that, and they understood what the jokes they were telling, so they actually made it. They brought the whole script to life in my eyes. As a production. because it is a cheeky script. It is something that's kind of silly and funny, and it has got all your stereotypical relationship issues, or the those sort of things that you expect of something of this era. And I think that was it's all with a nudge and a wink and a cheeky grin, and I think it really showed that in this.
Agreed. And I felt like the direction, particularly, was just outstanding. Not just with the choreography of the set changes, like I've already said, but the whole direction within the scenes themselves and the comedy aspect.
Yeah.
And you've got to get comedy right, as you said about how the actors will come to interpreting the text for the punchlines and knowing how to deliver the lines. You've also got to know how to deliver the movements in the space as well.
Exactly.
For those particular comedic moments as well. And it was wonderfully directed and choreographed by Kathleen Marshall.
One thing I was going to do is nip back to the set design, because I think that's also important when we talk about direction, because actually what the set created was a smaller space to act in.
Yes,
because it almost created a thrust space within the main full stage for the cast to act all the intimate scenes or the scenes that mattered. It kept them focused into a smaller space on stage, and from an audience perspective, actually it helped, because wherever you sat in that room, in that auditorium, you would have seen it. You would have watched that main, because it's very interesting, because even the cheap seats would have actually got something out of this production, whereas other productions can forget those and think, well, if you don't pay high price, you don't see everything that happens on stage. And actually,
let's make a comparison there, because we've seen Picture You Dead by Peter James, wasn't it? Now, the Lyceum where we saw this was quite narrow, whereas when we saw Peter James's Picture You Dead, that was at Nottingham Theatre Royal.
It was, yeah.
Slightly wider. But we couldn't really see all the sets from one particular side on that one.
No.
Because they performed in different
But all those
angles.
sets mattered in the storyline.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't like the edges of the stage were sort of null and void and it was just to drift off.
Yeah.
And so that actually takes you out of the production, because you're missing, when they're walking off to a corner, they're forgetting they've got an audience up at the top that are actually probably never seen something, or it's the first piece of theatre they've seen, and this is their introduction, and they're seeing people disappear off stage.
And not only that, but when we saw Pride and Prejudice sort of at Theatre Royal, when they were performing up the staircase, we could only see the bottom pair of the legs.
Exactly.
So again, that bit was missing from seeing the facial features, where this comes to your point now, where because everything was done in the centre, with all those different sets, everybody, no matter where they sat, could see everything.
Exactly. And, yes, they wouldn't have seen, not everybody would have seen all the big dance numbers, but you'd seen the main core of the dance numbers to know what was happening. You wouldn't have missed anything with that. But I think the actual storyline and the process and the whole piece, it felt very intimate, even on a big stage. And I think that's quite an important thing to get right when it comes to a touring production that everybody's going to see and enjoy. Yeah,
because I suppose the only things, if you were sat to either side, no matter how high up or low down you were, you might have not been able to see the extras at the back at the tables. But what you could do is, within this production, they always had two lots of extras on either side. So you might not have been able to see the one closer to you, but the ones opposite, you could.
You always got the references, whatever angle you looked at. And
I think that's really nice when they take that into consideration.
Yeah.
About the audience's accessibility to the show.
Exactly.
Instead of just trying to do everything to one side to fill up the space. And I suppose it's helped with their staging idea by having all the sets spin in one place.
Exactly.
Because they could have just brought in different angles. Different sets, from each angle.
Exactly. But I thought it worked. It it centered the production in a really nice way, and framed it well. Really, I think.
Yes.
Because in essence, it's a production about couples. It's a production about relationships. So you need that, that intimate bed space, or you need that. If you just did a full stage, it wouldn't work. But to do what they did with it worked really well.
And I made a joke to you when we came in, because we were sat at the balcony right at the very top. Well, not right at the very top. We was up the top bit.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh well, can you imagine if they start tap dancing on a top hat?"
Yeah.
So we'd only be able to see the feet, but thank God that's the only thing we need to see.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter about the faces.
No,
so
exactly.
We see them tap dance, but they didn't even do that, which was just great.
Yeah,
even
exactly.
better, really.
Yeah.
In terms of the actors, this was the show where we had a lot of replacements, didn't we?
It was mostly a cover run, yeah.
A cover run, yeah.
Which, in a way, my personal choice is sometimes it's nice to see a cover run where actually I've got no expectations of the cast and the performance level, because they've got to show me how well they can do this now. I've seen cover runs through my time, and
well, exactly.
Turn out
you
to be
could be a casting director.
Exactly.
You know.
But I think sometimes I'm not discrediting here leading performers, but sometimes to see the chance of somebody get that moment to be that character
and build their own
they've
career.
been working so hard as swings or ensemble or covers where they've been doing another role, but they know that role inside out, and it's like they get to scratch their itch, but boy do they scratch it. They get to show that they are equally as good.
Yeah.
Because you can't run a production on tour and not have a first cover. You can't you can't not have that level of you need a. It's
like any machine. Some parts need to be oiled.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if they're not the main part.
Yeah, well, it's a marathon of a production. If it's touring a lot and doing a lot of dates, you've got to have that. You've got to have a lot of people that can do the parts, but they need to be able to do them justice. And they did. It showed that they did justice because we didn't get a programme for this production.
Yeah, I was just going to come to that. Yeah, we didn't, which was annoying.
So we
could have got a magnet and a badge and a T-shirt and everything.
Yeah,
but
we still wanted the people
programme
on the stage.
Yeah.
And
so whilst we're there, I'm going to read out the cast list of who we think, after our little investigative journalism on Instagram and Facebook and everything else.
Yeah.
Name not Facebook, but we think Jerry Travers was played by Jordan Oliver. And Dale Tremont, I'm sure that's how the last name was Lindsay Atherton. Horace Hardwick was played by James Hume. Madge Hardwick was played by Emma Williams. Alberto Bedini by Alex Gibson Giorgio. And Bates was Connor Hughes, we believe.
yes,
We could be wrong in all of them, well, some of them. But we assume that's the cast we saw, and they were fantastic. Every single one of them.
They were brilliant, honestly. They all. I think I didn't really at the start. We didn't realise it was a cover run.
No,
and you wouldn't have known.
I didn't even know who was
all.
even in this. I didn't even see the poster, other than I knew it was touring. And I wanted to go and see it. Yeah, Irving Berlin.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, I've seen productions of this style where you don't know the cast, and actually I prefer it.
Yeah,
because I've got no preconceptions. I'd take them as the characters they are on stage, as the people that they're performing as, not because they've been in something else. And
because sometimes we do that. Like when we've seen productions with a celebrity star or somebody who's been off EastEnders or Emmerdale, you kind of you do then think, well, that's such and such. And
I mean, for me, it takes me back to a time when I took my mum. 20 years ago to see Guys and Dolls with Patrick Swayze in it. But Patrick Swayze wasn't in the matinee, so I went to see it with my mum to go and see it, and it was no cast that I've ever heard of, and it was actually one of the best productions of Guys and Dolls I've seen, but I didn't know anybody. You felt like you were in that world because you didn't know anybody that was performing.
For me personally, I think every one of these actors really shined that night when we went to see it. Every single one of them.
100%.
They definitely deserved a a round of applause, standing ovation, all the flowers and stuff thrown at them.
Because I think it's very important to it's important to almost note that when performing this, they're actually maybe dancing with somebody who's principal cast, performing with somebody who's a swing, performing with somebody who's a... Because what also happens is if a first cover moves up to be a cover to do that role, one of the ensemble or the swings then takes their place.
Yeah.
So you're then creating this everybody's doing a different role almost.
Yeah.
So you've got them from a production where everybody all knows it because they're all in their normal lane.
Yeah.
But now they're having to move to the next lane themselves. So they're all getting an opportunity to move up those steps to see if they learn a different part of the production or not. And that's equally, something that comes into it as well.
Absolutely. And for this being a musical, it was really refreshing and nice. I mean, I know it's like an old one, but sometimes with new musicals, you get the reprise a lot, don't you?
Yes.
Of certain things. And with this one, we only seem to have got the I Put My Eggs in the Same Basket or whatever song that was.
And top out at the end as a finale, cast bow number, but not really top hat for the whole thing.
And it was nice to see some of the old songs like Cheek to Cheek and Let's Face the Music and Dance, because you know the songs, but then it was a surprise for me, even when Putting on the Ritz came up, because I thought, I know that song. Obviously, I love that song. I didn't realise.
No.
I mean, I'd seen the film years and years ago, but I have to say I'm not like constantly rewatching these old classics. I'm aware of them, obviously, Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire.
Exactly.
However, I don't constantly watch it. So
I think
some of these songs, it's like, oh yes, of course it was in that one. Oh, of course, So
I think it's also quite clear from
surprise.
I think it's clear from Irving Berlin's writing that the reason we know a lot of the songs is because they stand up on their own in their own right, and people perform them in concerts, or they'll perform it as a one-off, or they'll do it on some a talent show or something, because you don't have to have seen the whole production for that one song to make sense. It makes sense in its own right, so it's quite a...
Well, yes, so some of the songs were just written to be put into a musical as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Attaching themselves into it as well. But it was... what, incidentally, with this being a musical, what was your favourite musical song or number?
That's a good question.
Ooh.
I think for me it's Let's Face the Music and Dance.
Ah, yes.
For me, that's always been one, through my life it's been, there.
Yeah. For me, I quite liked the Piccolino. No, I've said that wrong.
The what?
Piccolino. Lino.
Lino. Get your Lino out.
Piccolino.
Let me have a look.
It's
Top hat.
number 10. Track 10.
Hold on.
The Piccolino.
Song. Piccolino.
Piccolino. It's how you say it. Piccolino.
Yeah, Piccolino.
I can't remember how I said it now. So my particular favourite number was the Piccolino. Why do I always do it with these words? Piccolino. My favourite one is the Piccolino, simply because it was a huge cast number, and it was
it's a good one.
It was the one for Madge, and it was just really fun and uplifting, and it was really good. That's all I can say about it.
I think the other one I like as well, and I'm trying to think what the song was called.
Outside of that, I Love You is a good one. I must say that.
Is that the one that
they hate each other?
That's the one I was going to say.
Yeah. Outside of all that crap.
Yeah.
I Love You. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the fact that hate's very close to love, and it just really plays on with those words, and it's I did like that.
That was a good number. That was, and actually, it was a very, very good number for those two characters.
Definitely.
Right at the very end, once we realised the switch.
Yeah, exactly.
And bait sort of a thing. So yeah, that was a good one. Incidentally, we didn't really see Madge until the second act, did we? Really?
No, she was talked about.
Yeah, she was talked about,
but she was in Venice. I think that's the key thing. She was already in Venice so in the first half we don't really see her.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Moving on to our next segment, as we say, what the tech is this?
So yeah, with the technical part of this production, it's interesting because something I noticed was how well the set was designed to hide as much as possible the technical aspect, and I think that was really key with this production being 1930s, evocative of almost cinema musicals. It did feel very cinema style quality to the set, where you'd got little cutouts and little MDF cutouts all around the bottom of the stage, almost to show it was almost, I suppose, like a film reel almost across the front. But then hidden behind that was a lot of LED colour changing lights that changed the colour in such a subtle way, but it was almost the modern version of doing a 1930s production, where you'd see a level of film quality, style, and colour work that they've managed to pull off on stage now because of modern technology, and all the backdrops were all LED lit and everything, but everything was hidden behind like a smoky perspex, so you couldn't really see anything technical on stage. And I thought it was really nice because it enhanced the Art Deco edging and all the work around it. And then at the back they had in the first half there was a London scene, and then they used projections, but they projection mapped it in such a way that you just had, say, for the flying scene in the clouds, you had when they were sat in their in the two aeroplane seats, there was just clouds floating in the background above them, and it was all little accents of things, but it wasn't full on technical, like we're gonna distract from what's happening on stage. And I think that was important a lot of the time. Little things like the sunset when they were in Venice, and they created the oranges and reds in mixing colour lights and things like that, and I thought that really worked really well. But it was all, yet again, behind smoked glass, so you didn't see any of the technical aspect, but it just gave you that aesthetic, and I think that was important.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would say, for a musical, the sound mixing was amazing. Like, vocally, everybody sounded great. Like, we were sat in the balcony, but even
no one came on to sing with the mic off.
No, there was no.
Sometimes it happens.
And all the harmonies and everything sounded really good, and all the supporting cast and the band, everything was blended right. So because there was a full orchestra as well.
Yeah,
it was lovely to hear that as well. You know, it was really good to have that whole. You know, I think sometimes it takes a lot of effort to make it look so together. And just to pull that off in itself was really good.
Yeah.
No, so they did a really good job.
There was something I saw that was on the inactive. It was Horace's and Madge's apartment or flat that they have. In their little suite. They had the two lamps on either side of their desk, which had the telephone and stuff on it. But those lampshades, I could see the lights inside. They were like warm lights rather than bright, shiny, harsh ones. But even the insides of the lamps were like, they had a foil effect, but like a bronze foil effect. So it reflected all the light back onto the back wall to give it a warm, cozy feel. And that was nice to see that kind of effect, and the fact that scene was lit in that way without a strong spotlight coming right down onto the stage. It was just warmly lit from within.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed a lot of other things, but obviously,
that's
one that
I think that is there was a lot of intentional attention to detail. I think that's what you'd know. What I noticed, if they had flowers on stage, they looked like real flowers, even though they were fake. If you had glasses and cocktail glasses and all the things, all the elements of the surrounding props and the surrounding technical things, all just felt right. And I think that was good.
And now it's time for
Rewind, Rewatch.
I'd watch it again.
No, I know you would probably watch it again. I would watch it again. But which
bit
would you rewind and watch again?
I think for me,
Don't
it's
be awkward.
probably a combination of the musical numbers that we've mentioned. I think the Piccolino scene was great because it was a good opener after the first half ending on Top Hat.
Yes.
I think the couple next door's left because they'd seen it now. We've seen Top Hat. We're going to go. And it's a little bit.
They just might have moved seats.
But they might have done. But what I mean is,
there was a couple of Malteser bags.
Yeah, there were. Yeah, but I think sometimes it's very with these 1930s old musicals. There's more to them than like the signature song.
Well, they missed out on Cheek to Cheek. And
exactly.
Dance,
but I think not everybody has got an attention span that lasts a full production nowadays. Some people, but there's a lot. I mean, to be honest,
they just might have moved seats because it was all cramped up there.
Yeah, and got to spread out.
Well, you do.
But I think
everywhere.
I think
I was like a sardine
trapped.
I was going to say trapped and
no,
sweaty.
I think for me, Piccolino and then Love. The what was the other song?
Love to Hate You.
Love to Hate You. That one.
Well, it wasn't really Love to Hate You, yeah.
But it's more that.
Outside of that, I Love You.
Yeah, outside of that, I Love You. That's the one. I think those two scenes, for me, almost typify the whole thing. It's like it just makes it fun and you feel like you're being transported somewhere when you see that sort of production.
I'd rewind and watch. I'd say outside of that I Love You scene, but also I'd rewind and watch to the Alberto Bedini scene when he's been married and he's getting his kit off.
Yeah, that was a good one.
He's spraying
the
bed with all the rose petals and stuff, and or any scene with the Bates character coming in dressed as a disguise, because I just kept expecting him to lift his glasses up and go at his eye.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was very, very similar.
A man have 1,000 faces and all of them the same. That's so. Yeah, definitely. I personally would also watch it again.
Yeah.
Moving on to our final segment, as we say, call this a show.
I think for me, this is a faithful recreation of a well-known musical, however you want to call it, because in those days they were filmed as musicals on stage or on screen, so they were very much made the same way. And I do feel that they managed to recreate this on a stage and make it feel relevant, modern, yes, nostalgic, but also it's a nice way to sort of bring a musical to a newer audience, shall we say? But do it in such a way that everybody can get something from it. So yeah, enjoyed it.
Yeah, very classic musical. Yeah, overall, this was a fantastic production. I'm so glad I wanted to go and see it, and I did see it, because we did do it on a whim. We planned it, forgot about it, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah, let's go. Overall, the production is very warm and inviting, and it gives you so much joy, so much humour. The songs are fantastic. The production is spot on. The acting, the singing is phenomenal. The orchestra is wonderful. This is a production where everything is just firing on all cylinders, but it's telling such a simple storyline, which doesn't affect your enjoyment. You can easily get to grips with what's going on. Even if you've gone to the toilet and come back, whereabouts you are. You're not missing vital bits. That sounds like an insult, but it really isn't. But overall, this was just something wonderful. Scores then please, Richard, for Top Hat, the musical. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being a tremendous toe-tapping tip-top Top Hat production, and 1 being let's face the music and walk out. What's it going to be?
Yeah, mine can only be a 10. It's brilliant. Well put together.
And mine is 10 out of 10 as well. So, what sound effect will you be choosing from the following? A complete train wreck? Tumbleweed? An audible shrug of the shoulders? A slow clap? A pleasant applause? Or a standing ovation? What will it be?
It's got to be a standing ovation. Although I couldn't stand up because I might have got a nosebleed. So we're quite high up.
Yeah, I'd have got vertigo and falling over. That's why we've got railings. I'd give it a standing ovation.
So there we are. That's our discussion of Top Hat. We hope you found it insightful.
If not entertaining.
Stay tuned as we bring you more of our thoughts
And opinions.
on many theatrical delights in future episodes. If you'd like to get in touch, email us at upstagedownsstagepod@gmail.com. You can always join in the chat to share with us your views of a production.
Also, make sure to follow, share, like and subscribe to all our channels so you get every episode the second it's released. And we hope you join us again for another instalment of Upstage Downstage.
One, two, three, 4.
5, 6, 7, 8. Are you receiving me? Do I need to be louder? Do I need this moving up and closer?
Do I need to be louder?
I hope
That's
not.
better. You might.
Well, obviously, I'm like a little mouse compared to you bellowing.
Bell end.
You had
Bellow
to
end.
go there, don't you?
Well, what can I say? You went a bit
Naughty.
high then.
Did I?
That's about right.
What, talking now, normally?
Well, yeah, that works. I got oats in my face.
Oats in your face?
It's in your trap.
So how are those oats in your face?
Oats in the face, fine. I've got
So
more.
oats in your pants you've got to be worried about.
Yeah, you can get a cream for that.
Oat cream.
Did it record me then? Yeah, it did.
Oh, good.
Do it again, but just move your cable off the table.
Oh, it's that, isn't it? It's, hold on a minute, it was.
Just put it round the widget at the top. Round the other widget.
I've not got much.
Above you. There, that one.
Yeah,
That's enough.
yeah. All right.
To the left.
You're not seeing what I'm seeing down here.
I don't want to. I've seen it once, I won't want to see it again.
Hey. One time in band camp. Put your oats away.
I'm feeling them.
Feeling my oats.
Hi.
Heidi. Hi.
Howdy.
I put everything here so we sat up.
Wasted that.
What? Did you say something fun?
I said howdy.
Howdy. Howdy, howdy, hi. Howdy, howdy, ho.
You didn't reply. I said howdy.
Howdy, who?
Howdy ho.
Howdy, ho.
Fucking hell. And I think the other thing is, I know I'm sort of going to dip back to the set, but
So
I think
dick back.
dip back.
Start that again then.
One thing I need to do really is nip back to the
You changed it
I know I
to
did.
nip now, didn't you?
I did, yeah. One thing I need to do is really.
Hold on.
Oh.
Let me just.
I took my mum to see. Oh God, what was it? I took my mum to see. Oh God, I need to get it in my head first.
Whoops! There go my bloomers.
Yeah, that.
Just do the first bit. On today's episode, we'll be discussing Top Hat, the musical. Not Top At.
Top at the musical.
Hat.
At the musicals.
So the Top
at the musicals. Top Hat features some of the Top Hat. You're gonna because you laughed.
The story follows Broadway star Jerry Travers as he arrives in London and
London. London?
I
I
don't
might
think
have to do my bit again because I'm running too loud.
The story follows Broadway star Jerry Travers. I keep stopping in between the names. Jerry Travers, as he arrives in London and falls head over heat for model heat. Head over heat. And falls head over heels for model Dale Tremont. But a case of mistaken identity, a fiery Italian lover. No. Oh God, this is why I don't like doing it twice.
You're making it up now.
Gibson, Georgia. Oh, I can't even read my own writing now. Giorgio. Alberto Babini. Oh, this is another one of them. Bedini. Oh, I put two B.
It's D, double D.
Yeah. Excuse me. Alberto Bedini by Alex Gibson. What'd you say? Giorgio.
Stay tuned as we bring you more of our
Thoughts?
No. Let me do it again. Stay tuned as we bring you more of our thoughts
And opinions.
No, I need to say that again, don't I? Based on the classic 1935 film starring Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, Top Hat features some of the... Nearly got all the way
Yeah,
through.
because Ginger Rogers fluffed a bit. Well,
Did.
you fluffed her.
Alright. So you're saying I'm a
Sounds
fluff?
wrong.
I'm a fluffer. Based on the... come on, let me talk. Based on the classic 1935 film starring Fred on Stairs.
Ash.
Based on the classic 1935 film starring Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Did I stutter there?
You did.
I did, didn't I? Based on the classic 1935 film starring Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers.
Rogers. It's like you're putting a D on it.
Ginger
Putting
Rogers.
a D in it.
I'll have to put a D in it. Top Hat features some of Irving Berlin's.
Top Hat. Go for
Yeah, I'm going to go from Top Hat. Yeah. Top Hat features some of Irving Berlin's
Go
great...
Top Hat. Because you go Top Hat.
Alright, diction. Put a diction in it.
We need to put a diction in this.
I'm going to...
Honestly, you put a D in Ginger Rogers.
Look, I live in Ena now. There's no H.
Ena.
Top Hat.
I've got a message. What a time there, really.
Look at me. Based on the classic 1930... I'm going to go
you've
from
done
Top
that.
Hat, aren't I? Top Hat features some of... A hat.
Top Hat. It's got a hat.
All right.
It's a T.
Put a hat on it.
Top Hat. Hat. Top Hat. Enough. Just with all this. Infidels.
You know what really annoys me is when people get the phones out on the production when they're having a text like behind me last night.
I know.
Honestly.
There's a guy in front of you as well on his phone.
I know.
He didn't do anything with his volume, just kept moving it about.
And then he was looking at his phone.
Yeah.
Top Hat features some of Erling Berlin's. Top Hat features some of Irving.
It's like Chicago.
My fucking great granddad's.
No, it's not Chicago, is it?
No, it's not Chicago.
Irving.
Top Hat features some of Irving Berling's. Top Hat features some of Irving Berling.
Top Hat.
Top Hat. It's like Tapow with a T on it. Tapow. Top Hat.
China in your hands. Come on, Cal Decker.
Top Hat features. I'm
Top
going to
Hat.
keep fucking getting in my head now. Top Hat features some of Irving Berlin's greatest songs, including Cheek to Cheek, Let's Face the Music and Dance, Top Hat, White Tie and Tails, and Putting on the Ritz.
Go from
Including Cheek to Cheek, Let's Face the Music and Dance, Top Hat, White Tie and Tails, and Putting on the Ritz.
I'd give it a standing ovation.
Stephen got railed.
I got derailed.
Derail. We're stopping it now.